Hi everyone, Diana Rankin here with Daisy and your messages for April the there she is. And your messages for April 29th to May 5th. By the way, don't tell Daisy what my tea mug says. I do have one that says dog lover as well. Just don't happen to be using it today. Okay, what do we have for you this week? More of the same. So we're going to skip any predictions or politics. We're going through this massive transformation in our world, and we're going to get through it. It's not easy, but what I want us to concentrate on, I don't want us to stick our heads in the sand. We need to be aware of what's going on, and we need to pick and choose our battles, so to speak, however. So if you're an environmentalist, thank you for working on keeping the environment safe. If you're an animal lover, thank you for helping to protect the wildlife and those organizations that do, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, if you work with children, excuse me, if you're in education, there are so many different areas. You'll burn yourself out if you pick all of them. So there are those who can do that. If you're listening to this video, you're probably not one of them because you're probably one of the more sensitive people. I admire journalists greatly, but I could not do their work. Thank goodness we have them in the world, and we need to keep journalism free in the U.S. and other free countries. We don't want a dictator in this country, and we're not going to have one. Let's just say that. We're not going to have one. Things will work out. In the meantime, you've heard me say that the pus has to come out for the healing to take place. And we're learning, you know, if I'm moving around here and my feet are scraping on the floor, so I apologize for the noise. One of the things we're learning is, for example, the doctor, the White House doctor that our current president nominated to be head of the VA, things came out about him that he ended up withdrawing his nomination, which is good because he wasn't qualified. However, we also know that this particular doctor was in the White House, was the White House doctor before the current administration. So he was part of the Obama administration. So what I am bringing up with this is, yes, this administration is corrupt and it's crazy and it's driving all of us a little insane if we let it. But there's been corruption in top government levels as well as local levels for a long time. And what this current administration is forcing us to look at that, just like Daisy just forced her head under my arm here. So we can't sweep things under the rug anymore. We have to face them, we have to deal with them, and we can make it better because we're not sweeping it under the rug, because we are admitting it. You know, if there's a sore, it has to heal. And if we ignore it, it doesn't necessarily heal. It doesn't go away. We're signals and we're receivers. And I want to talk a little bit about what I mean by that. You know, many governments, and I know our government does, I believe it's through NASA, but I could be wrong about that, so forgive me. We put up these huge satellite dishes because we want to communicate with people out in space. And so we put up these huge receivers to receive any signals that come to us. And we also have these huge signal senders out. And what's interesting about it, if we receive signals, we have to be able to interpret them and understand them. If we're sending signals out, we have to send out signals that can be interpreted and understood by whatever beings or whatever energy receives them. We, each of us individually and collectively, are the sender and the receiver. We're the signal that, just like the governments are looking for beings in space and sending signals and receiving signals, or setting up ways of receiving signals. The energy, by whatever name we give that energy, whether it's God or Great Spirit, Creator, energy, divine energy, whatever name, I don't care what name you use. What I want you to know is every thought you have, every action, every emotion, and especially those thoughts that have emotion behind them, you're sending that out. You are the signal sending that out. So every time you get upset, you're sending out a signal. Every time you're laughing and being joyful, you're sending out a signal. Now what happens is those signals boomerang and they come right back to us. So whatever signals we're sending out, we're going to receive those back in our life. Let's be careful what signals we send out. Let's see what Philip has to say for us. Philip is my spirit guide, and each page is a different wisdom. So we just flip through the book and say left page or right page. And thank you for all of those of you who come back every week and tell your friends. And if you're new, I appreciate your coming. Thank you for your comments. I won't get to them today, but I will get to them. I can read them very quickly when I get the message, but I don't always have the time in the week you send them to respond, so forgive me for that. But I will get back to them as soon as I can. So let's see what Philip has to say. Think left page or right page, and we'll just flip through until we get an answer. Well, there it is. That was quick, wasn't it? I'm hearing actually left page, but I think that the right page is very important too. Left page says, without a generous heart, your giving is not a gift. Without a generous heart, your giving is not a gift. I'm going to tie that into our sending out the signals. Whatever we do, we want to do it with a generous heart. But if we give because we have to, not because it's not a gift of love, and we're really kind of better off not giving it. And some gifts I know are kind of mandatory. You go to a wedding, you're expected to contribute. How do we get that generous heart? Well, we have to be able to reach that point so our gift is received generously and in gratitude. And just simply by working through, why don't I want to why am I not right now feeling that I want to give this gift with a generous heart? It might be that you're just feeling, I don't have time to go shopping. It might be finances are a little tight. It doesn't matter what the reason is. That's our opportunity to work through the reason within ourselves and change our own attitude about it so we can give with a generous heart, including to ourselves. And that's a big one. Giving with a generous heart to ourselves. So remember, without a generous heart, your giving is not a gift. You want to give yourself and others a gift every day of your smile, of your laughter, of the signals you're sending out. You know, I've walked through airports and I've had people just want to touch me. And I didn't understand that at first. And someone explained it to me. And they said, people just want to touch your energy because you're putting out such love. And I realized that when I did that, it was I had just attended someone else's seminar, or I had just presented a seminar. And so I was in that deep place of love. And those are the signals we all want to send out as often as we can. Do it selfishly, because that's what's going to come back. Let me see what the right side says. Intuition reaches into the unknowable and allows you to know that which logic cannot perceive. Intuition reaches into the unknowable and allows you to know that which logic cannot perceive. Oh, my friends, that is so true. That is so true. So let your intuition this week guide you. That's not to say give up our balance. There has to be the balance of intuition and smart choices. So a little bit of the head and a whole lot of the heart. And that makes life a whole lot better, regardless of what's going on out there. It's not about ignoring what's going on out there, but it is about not letting it make you send signals of anger or fear or hate. Let's continue to send signals of love. And I thank each and every one of you for sending those signals of love. So does Daisy here. Thank you from me and from Daisy. Until we meet again. This is Diana Rankin and Daisy saying, we love you. We love you. We love you.